Oh, nice. Looks like we're live. Uh, hey, y'all. Welcome to it. We already have 16 people in here. That's crazy. Were you guys just like waiting at the ready, like, bam, ready to go live? Well, I appreciate you guys. Welcome to it. Hopefully, this mic works. Does this mic work? I'll turn on all chats so we can see. All chats should be visible, I guess. Right? No. Now they are. Mic works. Everything good? Everyone says yes. Is that yes because I'm here doing my thing, or is that yes because it works? Mic is working. Okay, cool. We'll roll back to super chat. That way I'm not super distracted by every single comment. Sorry about that. Okay. Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing? I plan on doing this a little bit earlier, but two things got in the way. One is I realized if I did it at like 8:30 a.m., pretty much most of the West Coast is still sleeping. I mean, like people in the UK and stuff like that, and Australia, I guess they're up, they're doing their thing. But literally everybody past the tip of Florida is just asleep still. So it makes more sense to me to just sort of do it a little bit later. But good news is I'm still drinking my coffee. And anyway, the second reason is I fell back asleep. Sometimes I take Carter to he'll go to daycare and stuff like that, so Valentina can work from home, and then I'll plan stuff to do. I'll plan my day, get ready to go, and then just at it I'll just fall asleep, and it's kind of embarrassing. But at the same time, it's like it's 7 a.m. and I barely got any sleep. Oh, Retro D, how's it going? She says, how is Carter? Carter is awesome. Carter's doing really good. He's at this phase right now where he's starting to he wants to say what everything is, and he's learned words, like he knows what moon is, he knows what plane is. He points at every bus and goes bus, which is awesome. But there's also the hundreds of other things throughout the day that he points to, and he wants to say what they are, but he doesn't know what they are. So he'll just he'll go did did just like a plant or a tree or something like that. And he knows dog. He loves dog, but he'll point to everything like a goat in like a picture book, and he'll say dog, 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 dog. So he's really into just identifying things right now. Like he wants to like say like I know what that is. That's that, but he doesn't really know the word. If that makes sense. Thank you for that question. He's doing awesome. He's in daycare right now, which is great because he's become very social, which is such a cool thing. He's he's playing with other kids. He's like learned how to share. He's not afraid. Like when he first started going there, he was a little bit afraid of like walking up to other kids his age and sort of interacting and whatnot. Like if they were playing with a pile of toys, he wouldn't go up to that pile of toys. But now he's totally fine with it. And I think that's really important to teach kids early on. It's like social skills like that, like how to share, how to play well with others. I've always believed in that. That was one of the main goals with getting him into sort of like a daycare routine. So we're stoked about that, and he's doing his thing. He's crushing it, and every single person makes it a point to come up to us when we're picking him up. Like he's just the cutest baby I've ever seen. I'm like, ah, yeah, come on, stop. You're supposed to say that to everybody, and they're like, no, that's the cutest baby we've ever had here. So my ego inflates, and Carter just is the cutest. So we're stoked. He's doing good. He's doing great. But I'm just sort of starting my morning a little later than I wanted to. But I hope you guys are doing well. Hope wherever you are, if you're at school, if you're at work watching this, I'm amazed that you can get away with it. Bravo. Uh, the the crazy show that we watched last night, Valentine and I, that like I can't stop thinking about is the Fire Festival documentary. Has anybody watched those yet? Like the Netflix one we watched and the Hulu one, but the Netflix one it just seems so bizarre. Does everybody know what that is? The Fire Festival? It's like it starts off like whatever. Like the dude is just kind of like he just comes off as like driven or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he seems like he's really like he's a go-getter. Like he sees Coachella, he sees whatever, and he's like, I could do this. It's all good with stuff like that. Oh, Para KD says, when are we the Kings coming to Sweden? I would want nothing more in the world than to go back to even remotely close to Sweden in that part of the world. I love it so much. We were there a long time ago. We went with Simple Plan, and those guys brought us to that part of the world. It was awesome. We did like Norway and little bits of Scandinavia there. I miss it so much. Sweden, beautiful place, beautiful people. I mean, never have I felt like. I think I'm a solid 6, 7 on the look scale. In Sweden, I'm a 2. It is crazy how beautiful the people are there. It is nuts. I mean, that's not the only reason to go, but it's definitely one of the most noticeable things. Like right off the bat, you're like, "Jeez." Lena Karina Steen says, "Have a nice day. Smile. Love from Norway." The Scandinavians are all just. You guys aren't even on your coffee. You're starting to have your first beer and wine with dinner. It's great to see you guys. I love you all. But yeah, no, it's Sweden is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country. If you get a chance, I would go visit any one of those spots. I would say maybe not during the coldest parts of their climate, especially if you're a Florida boy, because it gets pretty nuts. But if you get a chance to go there, I would say just start easy, like Stockholm and Helsinki, the capitals and stuff like that, and then you can sort of branch out and see some really cool stuff. But hopefully soon. Usually the way Sweden works, you can't just go to Sweden and then fly back. Financially, it doesn't make sense, and I don't mean that in the sense that like we need to like make buku dollars, but I mean it in the sense that like you fly 5 people out, then 5 crew members, then rent all the gear and do that, and then one show doesn't end up offsetting that cost, so it's where you actually lose money, which is it's not the end of the world, but you tend to want to book European tours to make sense. I mean, I probably don't have to explain it to you. I think I just missed a comment here. Mika says, "Will you ever have a meetup in Orlando?" Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think why not? Like, to me, it just seems like I should just tweet every time I go to like Magic Kingdom or something like that, and there you go. But then I guess I'm secluding pass holders. I think we should do it. I might do it at Disney Springs. That's obviously free. It's just like they're sort of like, that's where you go buy Disney merch and stuff like that. So it's not a big deal. But we should do that at Disney Springs. Chelsea Ross, have you heard the new Weezer album? I haven't. I did see that they made a new cover. Both it is a cover song, right? If I understand that correctly, it's a bunch of covers. And then the cover of the album is actually sort of a play on their first album, the Blue album, if you will. And that was a pretty big deal to me because this is the most hipstery thing I'm gonna sound like saying, but I actually had the Weezer album in 5th grade and was like showing it to my friends, and that's when people, all my 5th grade buddies had like No Limit Soldier albums, and they were listening to stuff like that, or like Space Jam, I think. That was like the album. I don't know. It was a big deal. I remember thinking like, because it was my older brother Sean's, this Weezer album, and I was like, I like this. I like these guys. This is cool. Little did I know that like I knew that band before anybody knew that band, sort of thing. It was amazing. But yeah, that album cover is really cool to me because it's one of the first album covers that I remember. Let's see. The Rambling Idiot. Best gig I went to was when you played Slam Dunk. We're late to the stage and played Check Yes twice. Oh yeah, thanks to Coley's broken keyboard. Yeah, late to the stage it's not wrong, it's correct, but we were all standing there on the stairs ready to walk on the stage. So yes, you're right, but it's not like we were just in the green room having beer like, we're 10 minutes late and running to the stage. But yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Funny enough, that happened at the 8123 Fest that we had going on in Phoenix. We just played the Mains Festival, and the same thing happened. We didn't get a sound check. It was our fault, but we had to switch the packs. You wear packs on stage, so you have like my own mix. My own mix. It has the click, the metronome. Obviously, I'm the drummer. I need that, and it also has a lot of drums and vocals. That's what I need to hear. What Coley needs to hear is his guitar really loud, his keyboard really loud, and his vocal mic really loud. And so I had Coley's pack, so I just hear, it was pretty much the Coley show for me, and then like me trying to find the click, like the metronome in there somewhere. Anyway, once you involve electronics, the things that can go wrong are just endless. That's why I love the drums. But yeah, Slam Dunk festivals are always one of the best shows that we could possibly play. I'm a huge fan of playing Slam Dunk, and I wish we can go. I think we got invited to the last one, but similarly, it was a last minute. We were supposed to replace people, and they could only offer us like what they had. Like it was pretty much their budget. They offered this band that was from the UK a certain amount of money, and then they wanted to give it to us, but it cost us more just to fly over there. So we're like, we want to play, but we literally can't make it happen. But anyway, love Slam Dunk. Played Check Yes twice. I don't think anybody's complaining about that. Chelsea Ross, maybe We the Kings could do something like that with a bunch of covers. Yeah, I think covers are just like something you gotta do. Originals are great. We've released, I feel like it's almost up to 100 now. But there's nothing like releasing your own version, your own taste of a song that you're a fan of. Newfound Glory, when they released their From the Screen to Your Stereo, I can't buy those quick enough. They're so fun. They're so cool to hear their version of it. I think, that's a great idea, Chelsea. I'm going to actually sort of start chatting away at the rest of the dudes and see if they want to be a part of that. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. All right, let's see. JC4, I just wanted to say Valentina's side of how you met is way better. I smiled the whole video. Yes, Valentina has a way of making things sound way more romantic than I do. I just sort of mumble out the facts like, yeah, we met in Arizona, and, the rest is history. But if you guys haven't seen it, Valentina sort of goes through her whole side of how we met, and, we're still together this day. It's on our channel. I think it's the newest one, and you might even see a cameo by yours truly, just being the goofiest guy on planet Earth. But thank you. I will let her know. JL says, did you tell Travis to call out Valentina on stage? I don't think I necessarily told him to call her out. I didn't mind that he did, but it was more like I had seen her before the show, and I was just talking about her. I was already, I was telling everybody, yo, there's this girl here, da-da-da-da, I was single, whatever. And I was, she's wearing a white shirt, she's this, I think that's her over there, you kind of see her. So I was all, I was just happy. I was, doing my thing, just sort of floating on air about it. And then Travis had just taken that in account. And there was always a part of the show where he mentioned I was single. I don't know why. Travis used to like that. And he just threw that in. So it became this, I don't know, sort of thing where it was just bound to happen. We were going to hang out after the show, and the rest is history, as they say. So, yeah, I didn't ask him per se, but I didn't mind that he did. So it's just this funny thing. If you guys want, go check out Valentina's video. It's I think it's just literally how we met. And she tells the story really, really well. Really, really well. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I missed a lot of this. Okay, Jacob, 75. Where are you right now? Also waiting for you to come to Kauai, Hawaii. I probably said that wrong. Sorry. Right now, Valentina, we live in an apartment complex. Honestly, it's a little too fancy looking for my taste. So it looks like everywhere I'm standing, I'm I don't know. I'm sitting in Donald Trump's waiting room or something like that. But it's an apartment complex we have. It's nice. But Valentina, she's working from home. She helps people on the phone, so noise is always an issue. So I came in here to sort of kick it, and that's where I'm at right now, just at home essentially. All right, let's see here. Lily J, how did Char and Allie tell you about the baby? Really funny, actually. That's a great question, Lily. Charles and I were in Vegas. We had gone out there to do this little project. I'm not even sure if it's going to see the light of day. There's some weird behind the scenes with all that stuff. But anyway, out in Vegas, him and I were filming this project, and he had asked me to come out there last minute. 24 hours before we were supposed to get on a plane. He's like, hey, man, do you want to come do this thing with me? It's a free flight to Vegas. They're giving us a little bit of pocket change for it, but, it's this, and this. And I was like, absolutely, why not? An excuse to go to Vegas for 24 hours. Can't lose that much money in 24 hours. No, but I was like, sure, dude, let's do it. No big deal. And so he's like, cool. We flew to Vegas, and we're filming this project. And at night, we're just walking the strip, we're in Vegas, seeing the sights, doing the thing. And we're getting a slice of pizza. He's asking how Carter's doing. Sorry, excuse me. Let me take one step back. I was like, so what's wrong? Why didn't Allie come? He's like, oh, she's just not feeling too good, this, and that. And so I was just like, wow, she must be like really sick if she couldn't come to, this thing like 24 hours before. That stinks. Da-da-da. He's like, how's Carter? I said, Carter's doing great, man. Like this. He's doing this now. Obviously, I can't shut up about him. So like 20 minutes later, I'm just like, dude, it's the best. So when are you and Allie thinking about, doing your thing? And he just goes, so matter-of-factly, he just goes, well, we're pregnant. He said it in a way that was just like, well, clearly he's kidding. He's joking. That's not real. He's just, that's haha. Oh, we're pregnant now, huh? And he's like, just chewing his pizza, like, no, yeah, we're pregnant for real. And that's how I found out. I flipped out. I got like teary-eyed because I don't know, like, of course, like I want to see Charles and Allie have a little one. I just, especially after having a kid, like the happiness it brings me, like knowing the happiness it's going to bring them and like everybody else in the band. I got super happy. I couldn't shut up about it. So he told me on the Vegas Strip, and then I had to keep my mouth shut about it for like a month and a half or so. I couldn't even tell Valentina, love her to death, but it's I didn't want. I'm not saying she would have told somebody, but she was gonna find out eventually, and I just didn't want to risk it. So I didn't even tell Valentina. I couldn't. So yeah. He told me there, and then was just trying to keep my mouth shut about it for like a month and a half until he finally announced it, which was one of the hardest things in the world. But yeah, that's how he told me. It was really cool. He just said it so matter-of-factly, like, oh yeah, we are pregnant. Like, huh? But yeah, beautiful moment, and I cannot wait for them. Karen, love you, Danny. Hope you're well. I'd stay, but I'm at work. Give the family my love. Karen, that's so sweet of you. Hope work goes well. What is it? It's Friday, right? Is it not Friday? It's Friday. You're good. Just coast through with that weekend ambition feeling. It'll be over in no time. Don't you worry. Good luck. All right. Sardes, 1985. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say Sardes, but 1985 is 1 year before I was born. So we're right there in the beginning of our 30s. Love it. You're lovely, Danny. Greetings from the UK. Greetings from the UK. I wish I'd gone to the UK in the past couple years. I feel like if I don't go at least once every 2 years, it feels so distant to me. You know what I mean? Even though we've been there more than any other country in the world, I kind of feel like I have to go back. There's a cool, great vibe over there, especially with like live touring that I love, and I miss it. And I'm really just set on going to see a Liverpool game. I mean, I've always watch games with my nanny, but I mean now we're really into it this season, as you can imagine, and so just my Liverpool blood is just like pumping. Like I really want to go to Anfield. I want to see. I stood outside of it before, and I drank in that pub right across the street. But I want to go see a game or do a tour or something like that. But just the UK in general is an absolute blast. It's a different kind of crowd and touring, and I want to get back to it. Okay, let's see here. Ashley Rose, when did you and Valentina get back together and move back in? That's a good question. You guys are asking the really good questions here. I'm glad I'm doing this. Okay, when did we get back together and move back in? We had taken some time apart. We were both just sort of dealing with a lot of stress. We made that video, and then I didn't renew my lease where I lived because I was going to go on Warped Tour, and I just figured it'd be dumb to just start a lease somewhere and then be gone for 2.5 months. So I went on Warped Tour, and Valentina got she got this place, and it was just sort of she didn't want to apartment hunt with Carter, so it was one of the first places she saw. It's just great spot. I love it. Anyway. Come back, and we sort of we're talking more. Things have gotten a little more light. Problems have been worked out between us, and slowly but surely, so many things made sense. I mean, we had obviously we got some time apart to sort of see why we had sort of fallen in love in the first place, and it was more clear than ever, and still is now. A lot of things got in the way that shouldn't have before. But anyways, that happened, and then so I was staying with her, but we were sort of just taking it easy. Then obviously that comes with the bonus of I'm spending more time with Carter, So if I find the spot to live, right, I'm driving constantly to come get Carter. Like I don't really get to like, see him wake up or go to sleep every day, which is just one of those things. It's like one of the best parts of your day. Both of those things, putting him to bed and then, seeing him wake up and smiling and everything like that. So just those added bonuses and everything like that. Some things are meant to be, obviously. And so that just, it was bound to happen. So we're here, and I think we might, that's why I was talking about in the earlier Q&A, we might head back towards where my mom lives, not necessarily Bradenton itself, but just closer to that area, because it's like a 2-hour drive now. So I don't know if we could use the help sometimes, so that just makes the most sense. We love Orlando, but like, do we love Orlando more than having help every now and again and growing up closer to family and stuff like that? So I think we're going to explore that option coming up. But anyway, what was your question? When did we move back in together and declare? That's about 2.5 months after Warped Tour. We sort of went through are we going to let petty things get in the way of each other again? Like, we don't want to just, bounce back and forth. So we kind of just like hung out for a little bit to see how it would be. And it's been great so far. So great question, Ashley. Let's see. New Tops 4 says, meet you in Perth, Australia. I mentioned about my weight loss. Any tips you can give? You met me in Perth. Probably when we played, was that, what's it called? Soundwave over there? Soundwave, that's the Australian festival. I think that's the last time we were there. Maybe before that. Anyway, mentioned about my weight loss. Any tips you can give? Here's the funny thing, man. I'm learning, especially the older I get, it just sounds cliche, but just the things you put in your body matter so much. It's funny. Like you just saw me train for the marathon, running at least a 5K a day and just, stepping it up here and there as I feel fit. But it was this weird thing where I wasn't as skinny running like 5 to 6 miles a day than I was when I was doing that keto diet. Do you guys remember me mentioning that? Like now it's massive. It's blown up. Like grocery stores are starting to label what is keto and what is not. I went to Trader Joe's yesterday and like everything that was keto, they had it labeled. Like that's how big it's gotten. But I did it like before Warped Tour. I was really big onto it. And I was so much skinnier then. Like big time. Way skinnier. And I wasn't even running then. I wasn't training for the marathon before Warped Tour. It felt like it was like a year away. So that's something to take into account. When I was running and burning like 600 calories a day from physical activity, I was still eating like cookies at night, and we were having pizza and mac and cheese and all this stuff. But I just kept this like sort of shape where like I had a little spare tire at the end of the day. So it's definitely, exercise is great, but it feels like what you put into your body it's no joke. I mean, it's no joke. Like it really is. I've pretty much done the experiment. I mean, I ran a lot while eating whatever I wanted, and then I did barely any exercise while eating pretty strict things. And keto is very low carb and high fat. So if you want to try it, I mean, I don't think the keto diet's end all, but it worked for me. It was great if you wanted to shed some stuff pretty quick. But just in general, what you put into your body is huge for weight loss, in my opinion. And I'm an idiot who is not professionally trained in any way. Just had to say that disclaimer. All right, the rambling idiot. Well, I mean, Slam Dunk's coming up in May. Yes, referring back to when we played Slam Dunk. I would love to play it, but that's the thing is, we're just like any other band. We got an agent. We got to get a phone call. We got to get an email that like, hey, we can offer the guys accommodations just to come. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like we have to make money to go there. It's just, hey, can you pay for almost 10 flights and for us to fly our gear and then be able to rent the gear and then have us, up in hotels and stuff like that. If you can. It adds up a little bit faster than you think. Like, we'd love to come and be able to pay our crew, if it makes sense at the bottom line, we would love to come. Slam Dunk is a blast, absolute blast. I love that place. When it's at the which one's at the university where it's just like some of it's outdoors, some of it's in the building. It's amazing. Sorry, I realize it's called Coffee and Chill, and I've literally had like 2 sips of my coffee, so I'll take a couple breaks here. Anyway, moving right along. Noel says, "What did y'all think about that Fire Festival movie?" Oh, yeah, I think I was starting out with that, and I got a little cut off. Fire Festival was so interesting because that dude, what was his name, Billy McFarland. He's a driven dude, and I respect driven people. I bump into him a lot, but he was also such a con man. Like at first, when it started, he was like, "Yeah, this dude. He saw Coachella, he saw Lollapalooza, he saw all these things, and he just wanted to start his own." And I was like, "That's perfectly fine. Like, okay, like let's see how this leads up." And he's clearly just ambitious right off the bat. Gets a bunch of these high-end models and makes essentially that commercial, and then I'm just like, okay, cool, so like what's the big deal? And then it gets to the point where there's spoilers. I don't want to spoil it because I know it's pretty fresh, but things keep going wrong, and he doesn't cancel the festival, which is a pretty viable option really early in a lot of the mistakes that go on, but B, he didn't let people know that what they were going to get was not the same as this commercial he'd made. And at that point, I was like, all right, this is a bit of an ethics debate here. Like, you should probably, at the very least, send emails out, set up a hotline, if you will. I mean, that wouldn't even be that hard. Just set up a virtual assistant and say, like, here's 10 questions people are going to ask. Answer them this way. Boom. That would have been like pennies to do that. But then he sort of kept going with the things kept going wrong. The location wasn't even like that luxurious. And the worst part, obviously, was once money started running out, the illegal stuff he did to get investors' money. That was this is one of the biggest POSs I've ever seen. Like there's driven, and then there's like compulsive liar, con man, like just douches. Sorry, that guy. He's a piece of work. He's a piece of work. I mean, he would literally pull the carpet from under you, just to sell it. It's crazy. So it was nuts to see the behind the scenes of that, because it was like a year ago that was trending on Twitter for like a week straight, and I think the headline that everyone got was just that, hey, Ja Rule's festival, blew up in his face, and that's all you got. But the really in-depth story is it's way more interesting, and like in a weird way more messed up. So I liked it. I would say you can watch either one, Hulu or Netflix. Netflix is more like you have the people that worked around him more being sort of criticizing of what he did, and the Hulu one, it's got the actual interview of the dude who in question, who I despise. They're both pretty good. If you only have time for one, either one, but the Hulu one has the interview with the guy. Okay, let me catch up here. Let's see. The Rambling Idiot usually Leeds, but they've moved to a new site. Yeah, Leeds. I think that's the one that we normally do. It's great. It's fun. It doesn't matter where it's at. There's been a couple different locations for it over the years, but Slam Dunk it's great. I love it. Sarah Pierce, how is your mom doing? Feeling? Love you guys. My mom, she's doing great. She is an absolute saint. It is so great to see her on the other side of all of that crazy treatment that she went through. Her energy it's the way it's bounced back is crazy. And that's where you see that truly the effects of, those treatments, like those radiation treatments. It takes the toll on the person so much that it affects you. It's crazy. But we're over that hump of those crazy treatments. She's doing great. I think she has one side effect that's a little crazy that hasn't quite gone away. And it's like this tingling numbness in her fingertips. She said, picture when your hand goes to sleep, but it's just the tips of your fingers. So that's kind of crazy. I guess there's a lot of cases where chemotherapy will sort of mess with your nerves, your nervous system a little bit, and do side effects like this. But doctors are trying to help her, and certain things are working and certain things are not. There's there's things she's taking for it that have side effects that like almost don't make it worth it. You know what I mean? Like you take something to get rid of like a certain condition, but then it makes this happen, and you're like, well, should I just deal with the original problem or not? But I don't want to bring people down with that. She's doing well, but just to kind of keep you up to date that like, you know, chemo really is sort of like a crazy thing on your body, even when after it's over. Okay, let's see here. Kyle and Susie Fitzgerald. Hey, Danny, my husband and I are new parents. Congratulations. What is the best advice you can give us as we adjust to our new life? Man, patience. That sounds like a cheap answer, but I mean, you saw it happen with Valentina and I. Like, you just really, really have to keep everything in check. I mean, it's like trying to keep. I mean, I don't know. A wild animal in like a paper bag, and you just have to like keep it there because you just at all times you just want to be like, oh my god, when it gets hard, and you have to keep it in check and like be there for each other as much as the baby, because it's stressful for everybody. You know, obviously the mother, it's very stressful, but you know, as a dad, I was trying to help, and a lot of the times like there wasn't things I could do, and then at the same time it felt like I wasn't doing anything. It's stressful for everybody. You do what you can. You do what you can. Just mainly be there for each other, and it's in a weird way you have to take in those moments, even when it's hard, even when it feels like the baby won't eat, won't sleep. Sort of in a weird way, take in that moment, because I mean, you can look at pictures on my Instagram just from a year ago. Carter looks like a completely different person. Like now that's gone forever. And we have Carter at this stage, and I'm trying to take in Carter at this stage where he can't really say words and he's giggling at everything, because in a year that's going to be a completely different person to me. Like that'll be gone forever. So even though it's hard, even though it's tough, it does get easier. Everyone said that to me, and I was like, that is worth nothing. But they were right. It does get easier, and one thing that'll keep you going is just how frail and vulnerable and cute the baby is. It's a thing you really have to kind of take in and keep, because it's incredible. It really is something. So that should get you through it. Be there for each other. Okay, here we go. Angelica Corbett said, I'm a longtime follower, and it's amazing y'all's love and growth. P.S. If anyone in the band needs a nanny willing to travel, I'd love to send my resume. Well, shoot your shot, Angelica. I love that. Thank you so much for being a longtime follower. I appreciate that. Yeah, nannies are always a great thing. We got lucky in finding a great daycare that Carter loves, so we are all good. But I'm sure if you were to mention to somebody as you saw them or anything like that, or sent a resume to be a nanny, they're never a bad thing to have endless options as far as nannies go. So that's very cool of you to offer that. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Iris C, longtime viewer, love from Lakeland, Florida. Lakeland, Florida, I love that. I would live in Lakeland. First of all, that's the hometown of Publix, the greatest grocery store in the world. So love them for that. But Lakeland is pretty much in the middle of Orlando and Tampa, to whereas it's a short-ish drive to either, but you're also not really near where, like, let's say people would come and play a concert or sports teams or something like that. So I would live in Lakeland for that reason, but I think I have to be a little bit closer to either Tampa, St. Pete, or Orlando, so that I have a bit of a base to go see the things that I like, music and sports, stuff like that. But love Lakeland, love Publix. Man, love Publix. All right. Anyway, Scott Penny just sort of left a little mark. How's it going, dude? Retro D, welcome back. Neuropathy is the tingling in the fingers. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I got to catch up with the comments. That's what it is. Neuropathy. She has that. I know that there are. I was talking about my mom dealing with the effects of chemotherapy. Neuropathy. It's the tingling in the fingers. There are way worse side effects out there. I mean, in a weird way, if that's all she got from it, she's almost lucky. So we sort of look at it that way, and she's doing well. I didn't mean to make anybody sort of concerned about it. She's doing fine, but Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate that. Valerie Stewart, thanks for the work you put into the vlogs and for sharing your beautiful son with the world. I have to. It's like show and tell. Like, look at this beautiful baby. Look at this. Just, it's the new, it's the new age way of, you know how they used to show your wallet. Your wallet used to be full of photos and they would just stuff in people's faces. That was like a 90s thing. Now it's, hey, he's all over my Instagram and my vlogs. But yes, of course. You bring a smile to my face all the time, and your music has been a part of my life for a very long time. Oh, Valerie, that's super sweet. I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, I got the gist that people really want to see Carter 90% of the time, and then like Valentina and I the other 10%. So it's, you don't have to thank me. I'm just giving the people what they want, and honestly, it's what I want to show. So yeah. It really is the thing. It's the side effect of vlogging that's great. It's the added bonus. Like, it's a journal. You know, like being able to go back and watch Carter's birth, you know, his first couple days. Like, I don't know if I would film that much and document those moments on a level where I could go back and experience them. Like, not just watch them, but like really sort of re-experience them if I wasn't vlogging. So that's always just such an added bonus. And I almost sort of like, I'm not upset with myself, but it bums me out a little bit that I didn't continue vlogging, you know, even though I needed the break, because these are the parts of Carter's his life where it's just sort of, you know, it's in the fast lane. It's speeding right by. So I got to start vlogging a little bit more and to capture those moments. All right, here we go. Where is Cooper? When is Mark coming home? From Peaceful Journey. Cooper, he is, he's not with Mark anymore. Mark, when he got Cooper, he had a great setup with a roommate. They were both firefighters. And with firefighters, you have 24-hour shifts. 24? Yeah, 24-hour shifts. And his roommate would be on one shift so that when he came home, Mark would go to the firehouse. And they had this thing. So Cooper was always with somebody, always fed, always had company, really important stuff. Well, that switched. And, I mean, when he got the dog, he thought that it was going to be what he had for like another 2 years. Something happened, like a weird thing, and it just switched out of nowhere. So he had to find a new home for Cooper. He still gets photos and keeps in touch with him. But yeah, Cooper's in a good spot. He's in a good home. It was actually one of his best friends in the military. So I think he's in Germany. I think Cooper is in Germany, stationed with a guy who really loved Cooper and has taken really good care of him. So, and then Mark comes home. I think we just found out about this. Mark comes home in April. He's coming home, I forget, maybe late March, like the very end of March, the 28th possibly. I think March 28th, but don't quote me on that, but it's soon, probably 2 months. Very, very soon. Okay. C. Noel 94 says, WTK fans, 7+ years. Saw you all at Six Flags, Georgia. Man, those shows were crazy because we would just play a show and then go ride roller coasters, and that was our lives. That was our career. And finally met you guys at Warped Tour 2018. Y'all were generally the nicest band I've ever met. Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for being a fan for so long. I can't remember if it was Six Flags, Georgia, but one of those shows, there was just wasps everywhere. Like, there was a big wasp nest on the stage. Six Flags hadn't quite used their stage for a minute. Like, the last time they'd used it was for something over the holidays, and we played, months later. And there had been wasps that had, like, accumulated over by their stage. So we were, like, dealing with that. Like, just, hey, let's just play the show and hope you don't get stung. It was actually a good time. It was really funny. Now it's really funny to laugh at. But, yeah, they took really good care of us with everything they could help. Eli Vanessa, how's Valentina feeling about the stuff going on in Venezuela? Oh my God, it's crazy. For those of you who don't know, Venezuela is just it's nuts. But this didn't just start. Like, Venezuela has always been sort of in trouble. I'll just say it like that. And it's one of the big reasons that Valentina left Venezuela. She left when she was 13 or something like that to come get a job and go to school in the States, and she just couldn't go back. She could not go back because I don't want to tell you too much, but I mean, she's had like real experiences there that were like, just like, who would go back? You know what I mean? Like people getting kidnapped, stuff like that. Just robbed. Like just driving your car, just get robbed right there at gunpoint, and then you just okay, here's all the money I have. Bye. And these were just occurrences that happened all the time. So she left there, and it's sort of coming to a peak. For those of you who don't know, with the president of Venezuela, and like now half the world recognizes one guy as the leader of Venezuela, and then like other big countries recognize a different one as a leader, and it's a mess. But I sort of like asked Valentina about it, and she's just like, it's always been a mess there. Like it's always been a mess. So she's just sort of not surprised by it, and it's nuts. A lot of crazy things going on down there, and I hope the people get what they want. I hope they can have like a decent, fair election and get what they want in that country. Beautiful country, could get back on its feet. Okay, let's see here. Let me catch up. Okay, Nikki, I've been watching for at least 4 years when I was still living in New York, and your Disney vids help keep me afloat. Love that. I get some hate for those. Some people are like, Disney again? Nah. Thank you. Also, I'm in Clearwater. Meet and greet would be amazing. Clearwater's beautiful. Clearwater's right, it's like Tampa Bay. You've got St. Pete, Tampa, sort of Bradenton where I grew up in the bottom, and then Clearwater's right there at the top. Clearwater's beautiful. I think Clearwater Beach is actually, it was named like twice in the past 5 years as like the #1 beach in the country. Beautiful, beautiful beaches. Anyway, what was your question? I'm so sorry. I just got thinking about the beaches now. Meet and greet would be amazing. I agree. We should do more Florida meetups. It just makes sense, It's not like we have to go fly somewhere to do it. If you'd be down, since you like Disney, like I said earlier, a Disney Springs meetup I think could be fun. There's space there. It's free for everybody to get inside, and obviously a fun spot to just kind of meet up and hang out and do some stuff. I'll put that in the works. I'll tinker with that. We'll see if we can make that happen. I'll even bring little Carter Man so people can say what's up, assuming he's in a good mood. Because I never show Carter crying, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should show like maybe a tantrum here or there, or like him crying, just to let people know if you have like baby fever, there's real. Raising a kid is not just like, oh, wow, he just laughs all the time. You feed him a little bit, and I show you the happy times that I want Carter to see, like how giggly he was. I don't want him to see like, yeah, you were kind of like really difficult this day. But yeah, I do want to bring Carter to Disney Springs. It'd be fun. Okay, Jessica R. How is Buddy? I miss seeing him in the vlogs. I miss Buddy so much, it's not even funny. He's still with my parents. Alan was going through back-to-back surgeries and stuff like that, and it became sort of it made more sense for him to stay there. My mom's got a very big backyard. They have like a really cool neighborhood. They can walk him around. And when Alan was in bed, I mean, one of Buddy's favorite activities in the world is just to sit there and hang out in bed with you while you watch TV. So that was what they did. It just made more sense. And so he's there now. I still go see him every time I'm with my mom. I will pick him up eventually in the near future, and regain ownership of Buddy. But yeah, that'll be in the near future. He's doing great. My mom is fattening him up. It's a great problem. He's getting fed plenty, so he's doing awesome, and I miss him so much. I just saw, I don't know if it was a movie or a TV show with like dogs, and this dog was doing like great cool stuff, and I was like, man, I just miss Buddy so much. It's not even funny. Okay, moving along. Scott Penny, Palm Harbor here. What's up? When we get to see the real stars, Mark and Buddy? Well, I did get a chance to answer those questions just before I got to read yours. But yes, the real stars are Mark and Buddy. I'll even throw Carter into that list. Mark, like I said, I think he's coming home at the end of March. Might be the 28th, but don't quote me on that. And then Buddy, I actually need to make a trip down home. I need to make a trip back to Bradenton here in the next couple weeks. So we'll get a good little fill of Buddy, and you'll be able to see his wagging tail, which will be nice because I miss him. Okay. Pooch 90 full. Hey, Double D, I named my son Carter with a Y. Nice. Keep on being the best dad. Man, see if I don't tap this, they just disappear. Keep on being the best dad you can be. Remember, sleep is an illusion. Yes, However, Carter has gotten a lot better at sleep. The first parts, they were crazy. They were crazy. He sort of regressed. We used to be able to just sort of give him like a drink and then put him in his crib and he would fall asleep on his own. But he's regressed a little bit where he needs somebody to be there. And there are some times when I think you just like you should let your kid sort of cry a little bit. And then sometimes where, I don't know, just trying to fall asleep and I think he just feels alone. His brain's like coming more and more online. So he sort of feels alone right now. So I'm in this tiny phase where I just sit with him. You know, it's not like I play with him. I don't rub his back. He just needs to know that I'm in the room with him, and then he falls asleep, which is kind of nice. But yeah, we'll slowly start getting back to not being there so he can get the independence, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. Carter's a great name. Interesting spelling. I like that. And yeah, sleep is an illusion when you're a parent. It gets better, but man, those first couple of years, or that first year, it's kind of nuts. All right, what else we got going on? Oh my god, Fire Festival documentary is just in my head. It's so fresh, it's nuts. You can always rely on the internet for some content. I popped up Reddit and I found this thread that I wanted to talk about. I thought I was going to get to it quicker, but you guys you're asking amazing questions. This thread on Reddit, it says, "Women of Reddit, what's a common hint that men don't pick up on?" I find this fascinating because men are so stupid. Men are so dumb when it comes to you being interested in them. Because we really are. I think it's because we're so obvious when we're interested in women that we just sort of make it known very easily. We would, if we were playing poker, women would win every time because our tells are so easy. But women, not so much. I think when I was younger, I was always just like, will you just tell me if you're interested, like what's going on? But that's not the game. Men, it won't ever be like that. You have to play the game. Let's see. Okay, so the number one response to this question, it's a whole thread. The number one response to women of Reddit, what's a common hint that men don't pick up on, is if I ask you a personal question, I probably want you to ask me the same thing. That's a pretty good one. So just sort of reciprocate the conversation. I like that. That's definitely something that men don't really wrap their brains around. I think men we're so focused on like looks, like we just see things. We're just so literal. Like if we see it, da 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 da. Women, I'm generalizing massively, but this is just sort of from my experience. But like it's more of a feel thing. So do you feel I want my connection to feel more intense with you, and you should pick up on that. But towards men, we want to see you go like something stupid, like, you know, like the dumb, like cliche stuff from like old movies, like twisting your hair or something like that. And that's why we're stupid. Yeah. The next highest one. Oh, actually, this one has more upvotes. If you come home and she's wearing lingerie, that might mean she wants to have sex. Well, I guess it's a different category. When you see that she has dressed up for you, be dramatic about how much you appreciate it. That's true. I've heard that. I guess the first part is, if you missed the point there and you have to be told that, that's insane. But she dressed up for you, be dramatic about how much you appreciate that. That also goes for photos, men. This is a tip for you. If a woman sends you a photo, just like, hope you're having a great day, you need to show her the appreciation, because then you will continue to get those. Because if you're just like, oh, cool, have a great day, then you have no idea. She could have taken 200 of those photos, and then you just said, cool, have a great day. You think she's going to do it again? Probably not. All right. Want to have something to drink inside after a date? Guy, no, I'm good. Girl, are you sure? Guy, yeah. That's dumb. People aren't that dumb, are they? Really? Come on. I was more talking about like the cues when you're talking to them, like what cues give off the vibe that like you could start taking the tone of the conversation a little more exciting, if you will. But want to have something to drink inside after a date. The guy would say, no, I'm good, because he didn't pick up on the hint. No, there's no way people are that naive. Really? Man, maybe I need to start a little Danny the Love Guru, something like that. If there's people that don't catch on to that, man, I feel like I have plenty of advice now. Plenty of advice. The Murphys. My youngest son will be 7 tomorrow, and my older son is 10. What do you look forward towards in the future with Carter? Much love from Rochester, New York. What do I look forward to most? I look forward to him going to school. Like the idea of him sitting at a desk and like pulling out a pencil or something and like starting to write his first thing. Like the idea of that is just crazy to me. Like that's a completely different Carter in my mind than the Carter now. And that would be exciting. I also look forward to, I think it might be a little bit sooner, but I saw a photo on, I forget who's in, Chuck. Chuck from Simple Plan, drummer of Simple Plan. His son is adorable little dude. And he had a picture of him like all dressed up in hockey gear, like his first time. And he's like trying to skate on the ice and like obviously just slipping left and right, but he's got the full like LA Kings get up, the garb. And I think seeing Carter like the first time either with like a T-ball bat and like a batting helmet on or like his first glove and like the whole baseball uniform, I think I'm going to lose it. I think I might cry and it's going to be embarrassing for him and his mom, but I don't know. I'm not going to be like the drill sports into my son, but I know that was a really, really fun part of Mark and I growing up. And if any of that wears off on Carter, that'll be a pretty fun moment for him as well. So I'm excited to see that. I'm really excited to see that part of Carter. All right, I'm going to do one more of these just because I'm curious about it. I've straight up told a man that I wanted his blank. This can't be real. There's no way this is real. I've straight up told a man that I wanted his and he still wasn't sure I really wanted sex. On the other side, I've told a man I'd call the cops if he didn't leave me and ended up having to call the cops. Yeah, men are really stupid. As a man, I have to cite faults. That's kind of scary that you had to call the cops. But that first dude, I've straight up told a man that I wanted, and he wasn't sure. This convinces me that I could start a love guru show. That is crazy. That is crazy that they didn't. Literally, if I give the tip, hey, if the girl says that she wants your, you should probably, you're good to go. I believe that's consent. And then they would be like, thank you so much. That's a big tip. It worked for me. Sorry, days 1985 high again. Very wise advice, Danny. Ask Danny. Yeah. I get. See, this is the start of it. Now you're gonna fill my head. It's like I'm gonna be very knowledgeable in this department when I don't think I am, more than the next guy, especially. All right. I've learned that there's not a whole lot of time to drink coffee when you're chilling in coffee with you guys. I'm not upset about that at all. I'd rather talk to you than drink coffee any day of the week. But I'm going to finish this before it gets cold. I just want to say thank you to everybody who stopped by to watch this. I don't think I'm going to put this up on YouTube. I think just live is what it is. Like, you're here live, enjoy it. I don't know if I want to put it up on the on the channel. I think this is it. This is good. So you caught it. You stopped in and you caught the live show. One of one, exclusive. So on that note, I'll see you guys. I think I'm going to film today, and we'll have a vlog up tomorrow. So thank you so much. I'll do that.